Welcome, welcome. My name is Keith Hampton, and I would like to introduce to you this incredible Bitcoin trend and forecast website, BitcoinTAF.com to be more exact. So, if I have been a customer of BitcoinTAF.com for a number of years, and in fact, it's been almost 10 years, and it has been quite a journey. And I have been very pleased with the results that I'm getting. If you really want to know about the cryptocurrency space and how to utilize it and how to trade it and how to be able to get good guidance as to what is happening and what is going to happen in the future, I recommend that you get involved with this company. You can sign up for free and check out all the different things that they have to offer. They have some incredible things. For example, in fact, we've got some Black Friday sales on right now, so this is a good opportunity to take advantage of this. We have a lot of different pieces of information in here. One is we have predictive algorithms done by Marius Lemon on what's happening with Bitcoin, where we're at, and where we're going. And that has been uncannily 100% accurate over the last 8, 9 years. It's just incredible. And I'll show you some of that accuracy here in a few minutes. Along with that, we're able to utilize it in the altcoins as well. So that is something that you're interested in. I'd highly recommend that you take a look at the long-term reports by Marius on Bitcoin, or more importantly, if you're looking at the altcoins, I would highly recommend the Elliott Wave chart pattern reports. This is really golden for what we need going into 2026. You really need to be having that information so you can trade with this with great success. And along with that, we have a lot of training and education in here as well. And that's the real key. You need to get up to speed and become an expert in this field. So we have a lot of different courses, depending on where you want to start. We have a foundational course to get started on TradingView and the basics on short-term trading. And then once you've completed that, I would highly recommend the Ultimate Trading course. And it will really add more confidence and more success, I would say, in your trading. So let me just jump to the long-term trend reports for now. So I'm just going to show you a chart here on the left, which is Bitcoin. And this is going back all the way back to March of 2023, what you're seeing here. Now, this algorithm and this data goes back even much further than that. But I just want to bring your attention to the last couple of years. Or I should say, Marius predicted this Jaffa Gate back 2 years ago and is now complete. And this is the Jaffa Gate zone. He predicted what was going to happen here. He then predicted a quick Zion gate that you're seeing just up above it, and you'll notice it here. 100% accuracy. Then we moved up into this down gate, which is this sliding downwards pattern gate here. And he predicted that once we reached this, we knew that we were going to be going down and sideways for quite a while. So this was a good trading zone for Bitcoin. And then we were told that the Damascus gate was going to happen next, and we're going to break out into it. It was going to be a very complex gate. And here's where we are today. And we have just nailed this to the T. Marius is just phenomenal. We've 99% of this is complete, but there's more to play out. So the real question is, if you like what this information provides you and showing you good evidence of what we had an accuracy in the past, wouldn't it be nice to know what's going to be happening in the future? That's where this report is invaluable. So if you are out there trying to figure out what's going to happen, there's a lot of different, lots of information out in the world, in the web, in YouTube, of all different kinds of predictions. We've got some people believe that this pattern is going to break down further and go down. We've got others predicting that, no, this is now going to go into a channel and just go sideways. And then we get others that are much more bullish and just say it's going to break right out and head up to the moon. The question is, which one is correct? And that's the beauty. With Marius's long-term algorithms, we know as subscribers exactly what's going to happen in this zone. We are fully acknowledged over the next 6 months to the T what's going to happen in this next phase. So that's why these reports are so invaluable. And that's why I highly recommend that you subscribe to those long-term reports and you won't be disappointed. Now, along with that, with the training and education, you can do a lot of other things with a lot of the other altcoins. One of the tools that we have is this wonderful tool called the HODL Fire that you can use to predict different trends. Now, it's not infallible. We need other confluence. That's where the training and education comes in. But let me just show you when you putting it all together. So I'm going to show you a chart here of a coin called Virtual, and those are 12-hour candles. Now, you notice that we've had quite a swing in this coin from the bottom to the top. Let me just find my mouse here. Just bear with me a moment. I've lost my mouse for some reason. Well, that's unfortunate. I'm kind of stuck here. Um, let's see here what I can do. Well, I've never had this happen before. Let me just see if I can try something here to help us out. So just give me a moment. There we go. I've got a mouse again. Sorry about that. My apologies. So if you're using this new tool called the HuddleFire, I will show it to you in basic form. So what it shows you is the top pivots, bottom pivots, and so you can get good guidelines as when to get in and when to get out of coins. I like to use it on shorter time frames, like in 8-hour or 4-hour time frames is where it seems to work the best for me. The bottom line is that if I know this is a pivot bottom, that's a good probability when to get in, but I want more confluence. And that's the key with this. So the tool has different settings that we can add to it. So it also has buy and sell tags, which add some confluence to this. So you'll notice, well, very vaguely here, there is a buy tag underneath this bottom pivot. And based on that, I would then add extra confluence that this is a high probability that it is a bottom pivot. The problem is with any indicator, there's no 100% guarantee. So you always need to protect your capital, which means you need to use stop losses. So in this case, I would have entered this trade based on this alone on this candle right here. And I'm just going to make this mark quite big. In fact, I'll just take some of this other information off here for the moment. Just bear with me. There, a little easier to look at. And I'll make that blue. And then I would enter a stop loss slightly below that bottom pivot. That way, if this coin doesn't pan out and turn sideways, I don't lose all of my capital. In this case, what I'm risking here is approximately, let's see, about 14%. So of $100, I'm risking, say, $14. Then as the coin moves up, that's when I raise my stop loss from here up to break even. Now I've got a risk-free trade going. And as that trade continues, I just move that stop loss into stop profit. And I keep doing that until we see a top pivot. And at that point, I would have bailed at this point in time, somewhere in this zone, and turned this into a potential 14% loss into about 100% profit. So that's how you can utilize this HODL tool. Now, it'd be nice to have more indicators to give you greater confluence. And that's where the Ultimate Trade course comes in and the medium-term trend reports that Nico provides us. Because here we get more information. For example, in fact, let me just delete now some of this information. And what you're seeing now here is we're seeing bottom entries, we're seeing different support and resistance zones, and that's how this would played out in those different support and resistance zones. Along with that, when you have the ultimate trading course, you get more indicators that you can utilize to make better decisions. For example, we did have this bottom pivot. We did have a buy tag, and we also had extra confluence with a trigger dot right here, right on that spot. Now, this would have been, I would have maybe entered in maybe half of my allocation. I would have waited till we got over this blue line, and maybe I would have added more. And then once we got over this moving EMA, I would have added more. And then again, all of this indicate is when we need to get out. We've got the top pivot. We've got a red dot at the top here. And we also have these lines crossing or heading down. So all of that would have told me to exit this trade. In other words, this is extra confluence of information from the training and education that we get. So based on all of that, where I am today is, yes, we do have a bottom pivot, but we don't have a buy tag. So I am going to be sitting on my hands. Also, I don't have a green dot and I don't have this crossing. So this is telling me, be patient. Do not enter this trade at this point in time. It may take an extra day or two before this turns bullish again. Also, please take note that we're also now below the EMA as well. So these are added things to give me reasons for when to stay out of the market versus, getting into the market. So that's the power of utilizing these tools. So I'd highly recommend that you seriously take a look at some of the training and education that they have here. And I think you'll be very, very pleased with the results you're getting. Plus, you get involved with a large worldwide community that is all pulling on the same rope, per se. They all want you to succeed. That's the reason for this organization. It's for you to get trained and educated into this space. So with that, I'd like to thank you folks for taking the time to listen to me, and hopefully we'll have you signed up and see you on the other side. Have a great day and talk to you later. All the best. Bye for now.